If a nuclear bomb is dropped on any country, how would other countries around the world be affected? What difficulties would nuclear winter cause? How could we survive? This topic needs to be examined under two main points: nuclear explosions and nuclear winter. Any nuclear explosion causes destruction far greater than a major earthquake or tsunami. However, the scenario that would create the greatest difficulties for humanity would not be the explosions themselves, but the period of nuclear winter that follows. To better understand the scenario, let's talk step by step about what we should do to survive a nuclear explosion. If you are outside at the moment the explosion happens, never look toward the bomb. The flash is extremely bright and can cause temporary blindness. If this temporary blindness lasts too long, your chances of survival drop significantly. For this reason, you should quickly assess your surroundings and immediately move into an enclosed area or behind a concrete structure. If you are caught inside a vehicle, bend down below window level because the explosion can cause the windows of buildings and vehicles to shatter and seriously injure you. Temporary hearing loss may occur, but it usually recovers after some time. To escape deadly radiation, you will have approximately 10 to 15 minutes. During this time, you must move into a closed building or an underground shelter. Places below ground level, such as underground parking garages or metro stations, are also suitable for protection. After reaching a safe area, the first thing to do is take a shower. If this is not possible, clean your body using wet wipes or a damp cloth. While cleaning, be careful not to scrub too hard or damage your skin, because radiation is absorbed more easily through wounds. After cleaning, place your clothes in a plastic bag and move them outside the area where you are staying. After reaching a safe area, it is generally recommended to remain there for at least 3 days while radiation levels begin to decrease. If conditions allow, staying for about 1 week may further reduce exposure. In some scenarios, remaining sheltered for 2 to 3 weeks is considered the safest option in terms of minimizing potential radiation-related health risks. Water and food stored in sealed plastic containers can usually be consumed if they have not been exposed. However, underground water sources may become contaminated over time, so they should be treated with caution. Iodine tablets are often mentioned in emergency preparedness discussions and may be used in certain situations. If dust or smoke is still visible outside, it could indicate that conditions remain unsafe, and going outdoors may be dangerous. Staying informed during this period is important, especially to monitor the possibility of a second attack. A battery-powered radio is commonly considered the most reliable option, since many other communication systems may be disabled due to electromagnetic pulse effects. To be better prepared for such a scenario, some people choose to assemble a nuclear emergency preparedness kit in advance. Such kits often include items like canned or plastic packaged food, water stored in plastic bottles or large containers, a battery-powered radio, spare batteries, a first aid kit, antibiotics and pain relievers, a detailed map, a compass, trash bags, iodine tablets, a fire extinguisher, a bicycle, spare fuel, and UV protective sunglasses. When you need to go outside, extra caution is important because radiation may still be present. Some people choose to create single-use protective clothing from trash bags, which can help reduce contamination. This way, instead of throwing away regular clothes, only the plastic coverings are discarded afterward. While outdoors, wearing a mask is strongly advised. If a mask is not available, covering your nose and mouth with a wet cloth or towel can help reduce the inhalation of radioactive dust. To protect your feet, sturdy boots are often preferred, and some people cover them with plastic as an additional barrier. Try to avoid burning wood or materials that have been left outside. These may be covered with radioactive particles, and the smoke can be harmful if inhaled. Radiation poisoning does not have a smell and cannot be felt immediately. Radiation builds up inside the body, and symptoms usually appear only after a certain level is reached. Common signs may include nausea, vomiting, and skin redness. For this reason, not smelling or feeling anything does not mean you are safe, and ongoing protection remains important. If you believe that help will not arrive soon, moving from a city to a rural area may offer better chances for survival. Even if your vehicle appears undamaged, it may not function due to an electromagnetic pulse EMP caused by the explosion. Although EMP protective devices exist, they are not always proven in real-world nuclear scenarios. When choosing a new place to live, higher altitude areas are often considered more suitable, as radiation may be less concentrated there. Being close to a clean water source is also important. Do not assume that melting snow will provide safe drinking water, as it may also be contaminated by radiation. In such conditions, learning and using proper water purification methods may become necessary. Another important issue is that if state authority collapses, some people may turn to theft or looting in order to survive. In such conditions, you could face different types of threats. For this reason, it is generally safer to move with a group of people you trust and, if possible, to stay in larger groups rather than alone. Even when there is no immediate danger, using a shift-based watch system can help everyone remain alert and prepared. Maintaining awareness at all times may reduce risks. In some situations, people may consider carrying deterrent or protective tools for self-defense. These are often mentioned in discussions as items such as personal defense sprays, cutting tools, or legally owned firearms. The main goal in such circumstances is deterrence and personal safety rather than confrontation. Which country is often described as being well prepared for nuclear emergencies? Switzerland is frequently mentioned in this context. In Switzerland, many residential buildings are required to include protective shelters. In areas where private shelters are not available, there are large public shelters designed to protect large numbers of people. Even with this level of preparation, Switzerland is generally considered unprepared for a nuclear winter scenario. Nuclear winter is, in a way, similar to the Earth entering an ice age, because sunlight is blocked from reaching the Earth due to nuclear explosions. Global temperatures drop. As temperatures decline, agricultural systems may be heavily affected. About 100,000 years ago, a similar volcanic eruption in Indonesia created a scenario like this, and according to some theories, the human population dropped to around 10,000. The people living on Earth today carry the genes of those who survived that catastrophe. Research suggests that the duration of a nuclear winter can last from a few months up to 10 years. If we consider that Russia and the United States could start a large-scale nuclear war, approximately 400 million people could die instantly. Temperature drops could reach up to 20 degrees in Europe and 35 degrees in Russia. As a result, agricultural areas are destroyed and billions of people can die from starvation. If a nuclear war were to occur between the United States and China, it would likely be a medium to large-scale nuclear conflict, since China does not possess as many nuclear weapons as the United States. Many people believe that these wars would not affect them much because they are far from their own countries. But that is not true. Most European countries and a large part of the United States would experience Siberian-level cold. In the areas marked in blue on the map, agriculture will be close to ending. Because of this, massive waves of migration will form and famine will emerge. A large part of the Northern Hemisphere will have to deal with Siberian-level cold. Farming will become nearly impossible in Europe, Russia, the United States, and China. As a result, surviving populations will be forced to migrate, and hundreds of millions of people can move from the Northern Hemisphere to the Southern Hemisphere. Armies that remain intact in the Northern Hemisphere may launch attacks to seize agricultural lands in southern countries. Countries in the Southern Hemisphere, on the other hand, may attack to migrants at their borders. I do not think most journalists and politicians are aware of the scale of this nuclear winter. If we take the necessary precautions, perhaps we can be among the few who survive. I hope such a disaster never happens and that no one loses their loved ones. For more information and content like this, you can follow my channel. And if you liked the video, you can press the like button. If you did not like it, you can press unlike. If you want more people to see and benefit from it, you can share it with your loved ones and write in the comments the scenarios you would like to see and your thoughts about the video.